make it a better place. It'll take creation, imagination. Try to draw outside the line. Let us see it.
Hi, this is Mary and Megan, and we'd like to welcome you to Mary's Stamping Happenings. Today is Tips and Techniques Tuesday, and for our technique today, we're going to be doing a quilt card. This is the pattern we're going to be using. Now, you can use almost any quilt pattern that you would like. I've got a few other quilt patterns here. Got this one. And you can use almost any type of paper. Those are some of the patterns. The patterns I show you will be on my Pinterest board. This is the pattern we're going to be using. The A pattern is going to be the Marina Mist, and the B pattern is going to be the Designer Series paper. So what do we need to do this besides the pattern? We're also going to be needing cardstock. Going to need an 8.5 by 5.5 inch cardstock of Daffodil Delight. I'm going to be using a 4 by 4 sheet of Cherry Cobbler. And you're going to need a 1 by 1.25 inch square punch. Now make sure you get that right now because it's going to be retiring. Stampin' Up's retiring the 1 1/4 inch square punch. You're going to need to punch out 4 squares of Marina Mist and 5 squares of Parker's Patterns Designer Series paper. You're also going to need multi-purpose adhesive sheet. This is 4 by 4 inch. And you're going to need a piece of grid paper. And you need it, the perfect size is 3 by 3.25. That'll fit all 3 of the squares on it in the pattern. What I'm also going to need is I'm going to need some glue dots. I'm going to need a bone folder, some basic jewels. I'm going to need the Vintage Wallpaper Impressions folder for the quilting. And for the background on the Daffodil Delight, I'm using Perfect Polka Dots. You will also need either the Stampin Trimmer or a pair of paper snips. So what are we going to do first? We've already punched out the squares. Again, 4 of 1 1/4 inch squares of Marina Mist and 5 1 1/4 squares of Parker's Patterns. So I'm going to take, we need to have one whole one of the Parker's Patterns, so I'm going to lay it down there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut the rest of these diagonally. I'm going to cut the 4 Parker's Pattern Designer Series paper. Say that fast 3 times. And then I'm going to cut the Marina Mist. There you go. I've already cut these, so this is what it looks like there. So those are all cut out for us. Now what you may want to do is before you start gluing those down, you may want to lay them out however you want it on your grid paper, your 3 3/4 inch grid paper. I usually start at a corner, but you can also find the middle and start in the middle with that Parker paper. And what you want to do is you want to sort of match these up, okay? So you want that goes there, and so you want something that will match that up. And it goes like this. There we go. Just like that. And then you're going to go all the way through until you get a pattern that you like. I usually try to, when I cut my pattern paper, I like to keep them in the same one because they'll usually make a pretty good pattern. So what we're going to do now is, after you get your pattern how you like it, what you're going to do is you're going to take your multi-purpose adhesive and you're going to take the one side off. And what you're going to do, this is the sticky side, you're going to put your grid side down on the sticky side, just like that. And then you're going to take your bone folder, put the sheet of paper that you just took off, take your bone folder, and just rub that. And then you're going to take that off, and there it is. And again, you don't have to worry about having all that ink on there because it's going to be covered up. So what you're going to start to do is, you've already laid that out once and you know where it's supposed to be, so you're just going to lay that out again. So you're going to lay your pattern right out again. And you're going to go through and lay all of those out. And it should look something like this when you're finished. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this over and we're going to run this through the Vintage Wallpaper Folder. And we're going to take our Daffodil Delight and we're going to run it through the Perfect Polka Dot Folder on the Big Sot. So you have this as your base, and you have this as your quilt. And if you can see, it really looks like it's been quilted when you run it through the Impressions folder. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take our 4x4 Cherry Cobbler, and with glue dots we're just going to glue our quilt onto that Cherry Cobbler. Now if it's not really straight, or if you got some edges, you can take it into your Stampin Trimmer and trim it up, square it up if you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to just set it right like that. And there you have your quilt. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put that on with glue dots again. Onto your Daffodil Delight with the Perfect Polka Dot background. And I'm going to put that over to one side, just like that. Then I'm going to take a couple of the large take some of the large rhinestone jewels, and I'm going to put them on the side here. Tip: to get the rhinestone jewels off, make sure you sit on them, or they lost that one, or when they come off, they may not come off with the glue dot attached. I don't know if I sat on these long enough, but you're just going to put one there. No glue dot on that one, didn't sit on it long enough. If you lose your glue dot, just go over to your glue dots and grab another glue dot. There's one. But again, the best way to do that is sit on them for a while, and they will just come off perfectly. There we go. So our Tips and Techniques Tuesday is the Quilt Card. Thank you for visiting us. And again, I will have some of the patterns that you saw here and some other ones on my Pinterest board. But happy stamping. Thanks for visiting.